Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias. Well, this video has been about a month in the making, and well, there's a bit of a story behind why it took so long for me to get it out here. This is going to be on the Rough Ryder RR2412 StoneWorx Cub Lockback. And if you see here, there's 3 of them here. I had not intended to buy 3, but the circumstances basically caused that to happen. And I'll get into a little bit about why there's 3 knives here in just a little bit. But first, let's just take a look at the StoneWorx Cub Lockback. And we're going to take a look at this one sitting right here on top. And you can see it real close right now. You can see everything about it. The stones are just nearly perfect. And the action on it is about what you expect from the Cub Lockbacks. I know a lot of people are not too crazy about them, but it works really well. You see the abalone in there and the coloring in the pearl. See there? Look at that. A lot of fire in the abalone. It looks much better in person than it does online. You'll hear that from a lot of people. And it's your little Cub Lockback. Really good lockup on the blade. You've got the little forward finger choil. Fits in the hand just like all of the other Cub Lockbacks. You either love this knife or it's just a meh knife to you. People with a really big hand probably don't like it nearly as much because that forward finger choil is too small for a fatter finger. But this thing just fits my hand perfectly. Pretty strong lock on the back, so you have to break it, or you have to break it. Let me clean out that blade a bit. Not a whole lot of strength in the spring. You don't need it because it's a lockback and everything. Pretty much is dropping pretty close to the center. Might favor the front just a little bit, but this is just one of my favorite patterns of knives. So I've done other videos on this already. Fit and finish on this one's pretty good. You can see a little bit of gap there, but the stones are in there nice and tight, and they just really good. Lots of fire, lots of I don't know, just a beautiful knife, and a great addition to the StoneWorx family. And this is the last one I bought, and it's just about near perfect. And that's what I want to talk to you about, because there was a little bit of a challenge getting this knife to where it is. And what happened was the very first one I bought is this one here. No, this one here. And if you notice, there's a couple chips in the abalone there. Very noticeable chips. And also there is a gap right there at the top. You see that? Where the stone isn't there. The abalone is missing, and that black spot has basically been filled in with epoxy. And that's what was bothersome to me. Really good looking pearl there and everything though. See that? Really great looking knife. Other than that minor flaw right there. And I was debating, do I want to call SMKW and complain or what? And well, because the knife was going to be on the channel, I wanted to get a different one for the channel so I could show it. There's nothing wrong with this knife otherwise. Opens and closes really well. Blade is tight. The fit and finish is really good. The fit is really good, but there were some minor problems with the finish. This abalone was a little bit substandard. This was fine. This was fine. This one, there's a couple nicks right there, nothing dramatic, but that little thing there was going to bother me. So I went ahead and called SMKW and said, hey, I've got a minor problem with the knife. The abalone stone is chipped, and it's just been filled in with epoxy. And they go, okay, well, we'll send you another one out, which is what I knew they were going to do. And that's also why I didn't really want to call them about it, because it was such a minor flaw, but it sticks out. You can see it so easily on the camera, and I didn't want this to be, the example everyone saw and said, well, that's crap, because, well, $20. Is it worth $20? For me, it was. For other people, they go, no, that's crappy looking. So I went and called. I knew what they were going to do. They were going to say, keep this one. We'll send another one out. If both of them are, if the next one shows up and it's not good, you're going to need to send them back. You know, send both of them back and they'll give me a refund. And it's like, okay, you know, I went for that. And it was really fast. This knife showed up on a, I ordered it on like on a weekend. It showed up at my house on like Wednesday or Thursday. I ordered the next one on Friday. This is the one I ordered on Friday, and it showed up the following Tuesday. But can you see that? There's a small piece of abalone there, and then what you're seeing is the clear epoxy, and you're seeing the stone, the turquoise behind there. So that was really just totally unacceptable. And then this side, you've got another spot up there where it's abalone showing up, but really what looked bad was here. And it's like, can you even buff that out? And so I was trying to see if this was just stained on the outside or what, but that is basically the way the pearl is. It's got this big brown splotch right in the middle of the pearl. So this was just downright unacceptable. And so now I had two knives that one was just okay and this one was just really bad. And what am I supposed to do for the channel? How am I going to show these knives and say, look at the StoneWorx knives, do you really want to buy this Cub Lockback? And the answer is no. I saw this and I did not want to buy it. It's like, I don't believe this. You know, I was upset. And so I went to the Facebook Messenger, and I actually went to the SMKW Facebook page, and I sent a note through Facebook Messenger to SMKW and said, hey guys, I wanted to do a video on the Cub Lockback, but look at these knives. These are what I received. This was the first one I received, and this was the replacement knife. I got two dogs back to back, and I told them I was thinking of sending them back, but I've decided I'm going to keep them because this one isn't that bad. But this one here, I'm thinking I'm just going to drill out the abalone on this side, knock out the pearl, and drill out the abalone here too, or really drill out the epoxy here, and then rehandle this knife. I was saying because I was just going to take off the bad stuff and rehandle that one. So for me, it'll be a fun project, but for most people, that's not a fun project. That's like, this just sucks. And I told them, you really need to go through your Cub Lockbacks and check them out, because for me to get two duds in a row, there's got to be something going wrong here. And I said, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and order a new one in a little bit, but right now you really need to check these out. And they sent a note back immediately saying, do not order another knife, not now. We'll tell you when you can order again. Now, I specifically told them I did not want them to give me a knife. I was going to reorder a knife because I thought, yeah, they might go ahead and say, we'll go ahead and handpick a knife for you and send it to you. But that's not what I want for the channel. I want a knife from the factory, or I want a knife from the warehouse. I didn't want something handpicked. In any case, a week passed, and then they sent me a note through Facebook again and said that they had actually gone through every box in the warehouse and every box in the store, and they had pulled out all of the bad Cub Lockbacks, and it was safe to go ahead and order new ones because all of the bad ones have been pulled, and they will probably sell them later as seconds. So be aware that you might find Cub Lockbacks in the near future being sold on eBay, and they might be of this quality, because someone will buy the seconds and then go ahead and sell them on eBay at the regular price or even a higher price. So be very careful when you're looking on eBay make sure that you can actually see the product before you buy it off of eBay. But rest assured, if you're buying it from SMKW at this point, this is the way it should be coming to you, in a nice, good, clean bone, or a good, clean turquoise. Really excellent abalone and pearl. So the pearl will be much nicer than what this one was, because these are now seconds, which is what they should have been to begin with. Is this knife good? Everything about this knife works fine. Fully functional, does everything it's supposed to do. A nice tight blade, but there are definitely some blemishes on there, and some of the blemishes are very serious. But now this knife is going to be sold in the store as a second. You're not going to see those, and if you're ordering it online, you should be getting a knife like this. And that's what I did. I just ordered it. When shortly after I had already bought this and the knife had shown up at my house and everything, I got a note from the person I had been talking to online, and he actually got a hold of me and said, "Hi, I just want to make sure, is this your address, or is it, or do you have a different address?" So he eventually figured out who I was when I was ordering stuff, but he did not know me from Adam during the entire conversation beforehand. So this was not handpicked for me as far as I can tell. This is a knife that just came off the warehouse shelf and was sent to me. And that's the way I like it. I don't want something handpicked for me from the place. And I try to keep that as anonymous as possible. Now they know who I am, but the people in the warehouse don't know to specifically pick something out just for me. And I know that because I got another knife from them a little bit later. And while it's not perfect, it's pretty dang good. And I'll show that in a later video. But in any case, I figured I would let you know a little bit about the saga behind this knife, and also to show you just how good they look now. So if you bought one early on and it was kind of flawed a little bit, you might want to talk to SMKW, but you should have done that right away also. But there you go. Beauty of a knife. Really love the cut lockback. Definitely one of my favorite new style patterns out of there. And as we know, it's not new to it's new to Rough Ryder, but it used to be a Colt 9-up knife, and even before then it was made as the Squirrel Hunter by Edgemark or something like that. So the knife has a longer history than you would ever imagine. I did a video on that already in the past. Anyway, with that all said, let's stick around for some slides of this knife, and you'll see a couple pictures of these as well. And when I get around to knocking the stones off of this, I'll let you know just how hard it was to do that. So it'll be kind of almost a torture test of the StoneWorx knives. Just how easy will it be to remove these stones? We'll find out. But in the meantime, let's just look at this little beauty. And let me reiterate here, because I want to make it very clear. I chose to keep these knives. I did not have to keep these knives. I could have returned them for a full refund from SMKW. They stand by their product. I chose to keep this. I'm going to do something with it. I chose to keep this one as well. I don't think this one is that bad, so it will become a good user in my pocket. This one, once I finish fussing around with it, maybe it'll be in the collection, or maybe it'll become a user in my pocket as well. But the thing is if I found a knife like this from SMKW and I really just wasn't happy with it, I could have sent it back for either a replacement or a full refund. So it's my choice that I kept these. It's not like they dumped them on me and said, too bad, so sad. Full refund. They stand behind the knives. They stand behind Rough Riders. They'll either refund or replace. I chose to keep them. That was my decision, not theirs. Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with Tobias. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.